she's very, very in your face, but we need that, y'all. I know I need that. Let me put it that way. And I just got tired of me. And I remember her one day talking about, you have to go live. I mean, we could do videos, and videos are fine. But the absolute best thing, especially in our social media environment, videos, because that's how people connect with you for real, for real. And I'm like, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. This what it is. And I have people on my team, they watch me, and I can't encourage them to do something that I'm not doing myself. I don't like living and walking and being a contradiction. That's not even in my character. They ain't even part of my lifestyle. So this is just what it is. But I don't want to be on here long. I thought about something earlier today. And those of you who know me and understand that I have a platform that way people to tell their story. And then it dawned on me today, Bobby, when was the last time you really talked about your story on a live? And of course, I'm not going to get into the whole deal today because we ain't going to stick on here that long. I still got 2 more videos to do when I get done with this. So I got to have something to talk about later on tonight. But I said, well, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story. Talk about my the opportunity, because it's kind of hard for me to talk about my story and not talk about the opportunity. It's hard for me to talk about my story and not talk about the products that I use and still using as far as my story is concerned. So guess what? This is what it is, and this is how it's going to be. But to make a long story short, my story actually started. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. My story literally started with. Actually, back in 2014, I originally became part of Total Life Changes back then. And it's funny, but I don't think I was ready then for what's going on right now. So everything has a purpose, everything has a reason, but there's also lessons in it. So I hope those of you who are watching this, either on live, and if you're watching this live, please share it. Or if you catch it on replay, please share it, give some input, whatever the case may be. But I think there's some things that can be learned. First of all, I started originally back in 2014, December of 2014. And this is after several attempts with different products, with different companies, as far as, trying to lose weight, just trying to put this whole thing together. Because I was an absolute mess. Believe me, I was an absolute mess. And once upon a time, I was weighing north of 363 pounds. I was well on my way to 375, and give it a little while longer, I am pretty sure that's only if my heart didn't give out that I would have made it to 400, because I was living the type of lifestyle that warranted that. First of all, I had some things internally that was going on that I didn't even have I didn't even have the proper understanding of at the time. And so it opened up the door for me to create bad habits. It also helped shape, a part of my personality at the time. I referred to as the rescue guy, where I was there for a whole bunch of folk that I knew ultimately they had no interest in being there for me. I don't know if anybody can identify with that. And so I literally developed a lifestyle where I had drew some of my own self-esteem from the fact of what I can do for people. That is so dangerous. That is, and that is very, very debilitating after a while, because you're literally limiting your self-growth, your own self-worth, based on what other people think of you, based on top of what you can do for them. And that is not healthy at all. So I had all that going on. That's internal because of some stuff that happened to me as a child, which I won't get into right now. And then on top of that, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2006. Y'all, and I know there's some folk that's going to watch this, if they're not watching this right now, dealing with multiple sclerosis or any autoimmune disease. It's a game changer. It changes everything concerning your life. And one of the first things, the big things that I noticed is that I already was leading an unhealthy lifestyle, but multiple sclerosis did not make it better. And the more weight that I gained, the worse that I got. And when I say worse, it started getting to the point where I was unable to really walk. My left side was literally shutting down. And so I knew I wanted help. I knew I needed help. But I was in such a bad mess, I really didn't even know how to ask for help. Because you're literally looking at somebody who pride themselves on, first of all, being able to take care of their family. Any man worth his salt is going to be proud of being able to take care of his family, where they didn't need and had to want for anything. And so all of a sudden, when certain things start happening in your life, and that is slowly but surely taken away from you, there's a big adjustment that needs to be made. And what I needed to understand, and maybe someone needs to hear this, I was still able to take care of my family. I just needed to learn new ways to do it. And maybe, just maybe, the person that is watching this right now is in that same frame of mind, because I'm about to tell you something that can literally help you, but that's only if you're interested. So just bear with me. So I'm diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2006. Fast forward 2010, I'm diagnosed with a very, very debilitating disease called trigeminal neuralgia. And that is a very, very, very painful facial disease. And it literally starts in the trigeminal nerve. And it can run all the way up from the back of your neck all the way through your head and down all in your face on both sides. And typically, a person that's diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia is only diagnosed with it on one side. Me being special and who I am, of course, I had to be extra, and I have it on both sides of my face. They also nickname it the suicide disease. Why? Because unfortunately, for some people, the pain is so unbearable that they literally believe that taking their own selves out is the only way to be able to deal with this disease. And so if there's anyone watching who feels that way, or know anyone who has taken that route, my condolences. It's very, very hard. It is very, very hard. Just a little unknown fact, and just to give you a little glimpse as to how painful that disease can be. For 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, I could not lay in bed like a normal person, like horizontal. I could not do it. I could do it for a little while, maybe about 10, 15 minutes, at the very most 30 minutes. And if I happen to drift off to sleep, the pain would wake me up, straight up out my sleep. And so I generally, for about 2.5, 3 years, had to sleep in a recliner. That's how painful and how excruciating trigeminal neuralgia can be. However, though, that's not the case now. That's not the case at this particular point. But just to give you a little glimpse of what I had to deal with. And so here it is. Fast forward, 2010, I get diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. My health is declining. I can barely walk. If I go to a store, after about 2 or 3 minutes of walking, I need to find a place where I can rest. It became very, very bad. Fast forward, 2014, I had business partners, I've done business with before, and this woman who was no longer part of Total Life Changes, but at the time, it was the craze, this tea. I kept on hearing about this tea. And so she actually gave me a sample of this tea, which today is packaged like this, but it was actually in a green and black bag at the time. And then it's not a weight loss tea. This Iaso original detox tea is literally a detox tea or waist loss tea. And she gave me the sample packet, and I did nothing with it. Then I turned around maybe a month later, just supporting her business. I bought a whole, a 4-week supply, because that's what they offered at the time. So here it is. I had five bags of this tea, and I let it sit up on my doggone counter for about 6 months. It sat up there long enough where dust started collecting on it. And there's a lesson to learn in this, because when I finally got to a place where I said, you know what, ain't nothing else working for me, let me just try this tea. And I really didn't even believe that you could drink a tea and lose any weight. Little did I understand, little did I know that within the first 5 days of drinking that tea, this tea right here, I literally had dropped 7 pounds. Why? Because a lot of us are walking around with intestinal sludge that has been in our bodies for years, 10, 20, 30 years. And we've never had the proper deep detox. And this is a gentle herbal detox. And I literally dropped 7 pounds within the first 5 days. And the light bulb went off. I said, uh-oh, I'm on to something here. This is real. So I said, well, if the tea is going to work the way it says it's going to work, let me see what else they have to offer. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm getting rid of waste, I'm going to need to get some vitamins. Because the vitamins I was taking at the time, y'all, I was getting them from GNC. I was getting them from Walmart. And anybody that take vitamins that way in a pill form, a lot of times at the very most, you're going to be able to take advantage of about 30% of that pill. The rest of it is going to come out in your waste, in your urine. And I was like, okay, I need something else. I wasn't getting the nutrition through my food. So guess what? I did a little research and found out that they had a liquid multivitamin. I was like, man, that's crazy. And it's NutriBurst. This was actually Total Life Changes' first product when they first hit the scene back in 1999. And this is the world's #1 liquid multivitamin. It has a 98% absorption rate. And it really started helping me get balance. It created a synergy in my body. So in one instance, I'm detoxing. The next instance, I am literally getting rejuvenated and renewed in my body, because my body is finally getting the nutrients that it needs to be able to operate properly in a day. And so I'm like, okay, wow, man. And then I did some more research, and I found out that they had something that could literally help me with the chronic fatigue that I was dealing with. Because remember, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis back in 2006. And anybody dealing with an autoimmune disease, and especially multiple sclerosis, the #1 issue that we typically deal with is this chronic fatigue. I'm like, y'all, like 1 minute you're fine, and the next minute you will literally crash, and you have no control over it. And so I knew I needed something. I needed something in my life. I needed something other than the Red Bulls. I needed something other than these other energy drinks, which in reality is nothing but chemistry sets in a can. And they're not healthy. You can actually Google some of those particular drinks, and you will see where people have literally had medical problems, heart palpitations, the whole nine. So I knew that I couldn't continue using those just so I can just survive and get through the day. And so I found out that they had an energy supplement called literally NRG. Say it real quick, it's energy. And not only did it give me energy, and see, here's the beautiful thing about NRG, it doesn't give you that crash at the end of the day. That was the first thing that I noticed. It gave one pill. Gave me enough to not only get through the day, but it did not give me that crash. Also, too, it has a natural appetite suppressant in this NRG. So I was like, man, this is good. So I'm getting my energy. Is suppressing my appetite, but because of the thermogenic processes of this particular pill, it also can help you burn up to 300 calories just sitting down all day. Unfortunately, we're in a society now where a lot of our jobs, it requires us to sit down, maybe at a desk all day or what have you, but we're not very active. Well, with this pill, you can burn up to 300 calories a day, not even really exercising and going and working out. Okay, that's not a guarantee, and we don't, mitigate or have anyone say that we cure diseases with these particular products. These are just our personal testimonies. I'm just telling you what's going on with me and what has happened with me. Okay, so here it is. I got the NRG, but here was the miracle with me with the NRG that just sent me over the edge. Also, those of us who deal with multiple sclerosis, Unfortunately, we deal with anxiety at an entirely different level, a high level. Panic attacks at an entirely different level. Well, there's an ingredient in here, and it's natural. Everything that I'm showing you is 100% natural, called 5-HTP. And what it did, it literally decreased those anxiety episodes. It literally decreased, the panic attacks. And here's the deal, y'all. It works so well, it has a nickname. It's called the happy pill. So it helps stabilize your mood. All within this one pill. And I'm literally giving you all the blueprint as to how I began to drop, now up until this point, 170 pounds. Now, mind you, I started back in 2014, but I allowed life to get in the way, and in 2015, I left the company. I had emergency surgery, and that emergency surgery, ironically, was because I almost waited too late to try to do anything concerning my health. I thought I had time. So I kept on delaying. I kept on saying, well, I'm going to get to it. I allowed myself to believe the lie. And people say this, and I guess they mean well, but what they don't realize what they're doing. They're literally enabling, because I would hear for years, well, you still look good to be big. What does that mean? Just think about that. Because the reality was, I hated being in front of the mirror. Matter of fact, I call it a love-hate relationship. More hate than love. I did not like what I saw in the mirror. Not only from a cosmetic, physical standpoint, but also what I was seeing internally. Because I knew I needed something in my life. I needed a total life change. So I'm going to show you one more product that I've used to help me in this process of literally destroying 170 plus pounds up until this point. Resolution drops. They're nicknamed lipo in a bottle, but this right here is no joke. This will suppress the appetite. This will help you lose if you're persistent and if you're consistent in the changing of your eating lifestyle. You also incorporate at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise a day. For an example, walking. Trust and believe. There's a meal plan that comes along with these drops. You follow it to the best of your ability, but it can help you literally lose anywhere from 1 to 3 pounds a day. You heard that correct. And being that I am the recipient of these benefits, it can happen. It's no guarantee, because I can't control your drive. I cannot control your commitment. Only you can control that. But if you give yourself an opportunity to really, really commit yourself to a plan, because see, here's what we do know at this particular point. The products are no longer on trial. They work. It's not an issue of whether or not the products will work. The issue is whether or not you're going to allow the products to work for you. That's where the issue come in at. So here it is, 2014, 2015. I lose originally 70 pounds. Then I get out of the business. I come off my plan. I come off the products. And I started gaining the weight back. There was the clue. And you know how you get determined in your mind? Well, man, I don't want to go back to Total Life Changes. I don't want to do that no more. And the reason why I didn't want to do that, because I knew that in order for me to go to the next level and what I was trying to accomplish, that it was going to require me to dig deeper. It was going to really require me to really fully commit to this process of not only literally getting this weight off, but literally changing my life. And so fast forward, after I got through arguing with myself, after I got through going through what I was going to go through, eventually the day came, and I'll never forget. It was in August of 2019. I had a situation to occur. And it was like my spirit said, Bobby, enough is enough. You cannot continuously complain about how people treat you when you're not treating your own self good. I had my own personal come to Jesus meeting. It was real serious. And at that moment, I knew what I needed to do. I needed to go back to where the Most High was leading me to come back to in the first place. I had to get to a place where I stopped having an argument in my spirit. I needed to get to a place where I said, you know what, whatever it takes. And those of you who may be watching this now or going to watch this on replay later, you need to get to a place in your spirit where you say, whatever it takes. Because there are some of you, and I had to call this out. You all have watched me for well over a year. You all have admitted this to me. Okay? This is through private DM conversations where you have admitted you have watched me go through my process for well over a year. You have literally watched me transform. You have watched me drop this 170 plus pounds. You have literally watched me stand up on stage in Houston of this year and actually be awarded a transformation contest, be rewarded as a transformation contest winner for the company. Okay, so it's no joke. There's no games being played here. I am almost begging you, please love yourself enough to at least give yourself a chance, an opportunity. Because it's not an issue of whether or not the products will work. This is an issue of whether or not you believe you can stay committed. That's where we're getting down to. And I'm telling you, being a part of this community, being a part of what we would call this energy has changed everything in my life. And everything has purpose. Everything has reason. And because you need to go through your process, you need to go through your journey. And here's the deal. You can try to do it somewhere else. And you can try to do it with someone else. But here's the reality. There are some things where you have to literally walk it out and on a specific path, period. My specific path was Total Life Changes. And even more so, my specific path, literally, I was connected to somebody. I had an assignment to connect to someone. My personal sponsor, Ms. Fern Morgan, how we got connected was by virtue of me putting up a post concerning trigeminal neuralgia. And the rest is history. I'm telling you that there are some folks that are waiting on you. They're literally waiting on you to show up, for you to be transparent enough to say, hey, look, I need some help. I'm about to help myself, but I want to help others in the process. So I'm going to tell my story while I'm walking in my story so I can help someone tell their story. Y'all need to get this, man. It's bigger than the products. I love the products. And I love getting paid, and I'm going to talk about getting paid here in a second. But I really want to drive the fact home is that this is bigger than weight loss. This is about having a 360-degree experience through mind, body, and spirit. I can't make it any plainer than that. So let me just go a little bit further, because I want to talk about the money. I'm just going to talk about the three main ways that we get paid. All right. The first way we get paid when you first come on board, because the only thing you need to do is pay $49 for a starter kit. And you do need some inventory. I have to admit that. You're going to have to invest in some inventory. And everybody has their sweet spot as to how they want to get in, as far as the amount of money that they want to spend. But I will tell you this. I've never heard of a grocery store opening up and they don't put no groceries in it. Okay. Let me repeat that. I ain't never heard of anybody opening up a grocery store and then don't put no groceries in it. Because if they go that route, they ain't going to make no money. There's a clue. So you cannot be promoting a product and you don't have the product to promote. Hello. Somebody need to see you participating in actually consuming the products. Because it's our reputation. It's our word on the line. You know, there's an integrity issue. So yeah, it's going to cost you just a little bit of something. Just a little bit. I know that little bit of something that I invested, man, I made that back in, less than 24 hours? Because I got to talking about my story. This is all about stories. Ultimately, at the beginning, at the end of the day, this is about us sharing our stories. So let me tell you how we get paid. You get a free retail site. You don't have to worry about setting up any merchant account. And when somebody go to your website and put their order in, you ain't got to worry about the shipping. You don't have to worry about the processing. None of that. This is drop shipping at its best. So here it is. Someone comes to your site And let's say, for instance, they want to purchase some tea and they want to purchase some NutriBurst. Well, we get paid based on volume. So volume equals cash money. And we get paid 50% commission of whatever the volume value is or whatever that person purchased. Guess what? Right here in front of you is what we call 80 volume. 50% of 80 is 40. So here it is. Because somebody wanted to get some tea and they wanted to get some NutriBurst, you make $40. If they just want to get some tea, you make $20. It's that simple. It is that simple. And here's the deal. We have this thing called daily pay. So let me explain that to you. Let's say, for instance, you come on board tonight. You get your website set up. You start sharing with folk, hey, look, I'm about to start this challenge. I'm about to get myself healthy. I'm about to detox. Who want to join me? I'm going to get this tea. Who else want this tea? Folk come on your website. They purchase the tea. They purchase the tea tonight. You can literally get paid the next day. I lie to you not. Because I like getting those emails. You know, there are some emails that you like getting, then some that you don't. Well, that email, I love those emails. I love when a new customer has started to purchase, actually purchase something from the website. I like it even more when the same customer come through and purchase time and time again. Why? Because they see the value in these products. I'm telling you, y'all, I hate to make it sound that simple, but it is that simple. It's not that hard. It's really, really not that hard. The second way we get paid, you remember how I was telling you how you come on board? Well, you actually get paid for somebody coming on board and they put in their first order. So they first order, let's say, for instance, we're going to buy the tea, they're going to get the NutriBurst, and then they're going to get some NRG. Well, guess what? Based on how I told you we get paid, you just made $60. Now, that's a one-time bonus because now they're a part of your team. And just imagine you get two people to do that. So you place one person to the left, the other person going to be on the right, because we have what you may call a hybrid binary. Hybrid meaning quick, binary meaning two. So you got one person on both sides. That sets up the next way that we get paid, which is binary pay. And look, listen, depending on your rank, you get paid a percentage of whatever that person produces in volume each and every week. And yes, there is a cap as far as how much we get paid on the binary volume. And I believe in binary. I believe in building a team. But there are some of us who are not interested in building a team. And so they just want to just do retail. Man, you can kill it on retail. I'm a firm believer in this. Get in where you fit in. We can all grow to where we need to go, but just get in. So I'm not going to force you to be something that you're not ready to be. I'm good with that. But we going to grow. We're going to maximize every potential there is out here because you deserve that. But getting that binary pay, they take a snapshot of our back office every Thursday night, and we get paid every week based on our binary, okay? And there's a cap on there. Unfortunately, the cap is $20,000 a week. Hold on, let me get a sip of this. Yeah, I said 20K. Yeah, so can you imagine just being limited to making 20K a week just on the binary? And there are other ways that we get paid. Get back with the person who actually introduced you to this call and ask them more as far as the other ways that we get paid. I just wanted to give you the three main ones. I just wanted to just give you a brief look as to what this business has been to me, a little bit of my story, a little bit of purpose as to why I do what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I love my customers and my customers love me. And I love changing lives. I'm walking out my assignment. You'll hear me talk about this a lot. I'm walking out my assignment because I'm helping changing lives, and that's what matters. And I get compensated very well in doing so. And let me encourage you with this. For those of you, and I've gotten this thought process a lot here this past week. where people say, well, Bobby, I'm going to join the business with you, but I want to lose some weight first. And I have to explain to them, as I'm getting ready to explain to you, that believe it or not, part of your prosperity lies within you sharing your story. So there's no such thing as actually waiting to get perfect and waiting to get yourself together. Man, we all human, and we all walking this thing out. As I shared with you, I didn't start out and stay consistent when I first started this thing. I lost 70 pounds, gained back 35. But you best believe when I came back, I got back on the products for a solid 2 months almost before I came back into business. But in the process of doing that, I started telling my story. So by the time I came officially into the business, folks was re-familiar with me. And that's how it all began. So there is no shame in starting right where you are. Because here's the goal. You're not going to stay where you are. And you're going to have help. You're in business for yourself, but you're not going to be in business by yourself. Trust and believe. I'm not going to leave you hanging out there. If someone actually puts you on this Zoom and they're in the business, you get back with them. They cared enough to share this information with you. They're not going to leave you hanging as well. All right? So, if you want some products, if you need more information about the products, DM me. Otherwise, go ahead and click the link in my bio. If you're ready to come on board and you're ready to make a difference first in your life, and as you're making a difference in your life, you're making a difference in others, click the link in the bio. Let's go ahead. Let's get this thing together. Let's change lives together, because y'all, I'm blessed and I'm honored. I've had some amazing things that happen in my life, especially this year, and just being a part of this community, being awarded, transformation contest winner has been huge. It has allowed me to broaden my horizons, broaden my borders, so to speak, even within this opportunity. And I've met and connected with some amazing people. I love it here. I love it here. Can't nobody come to me with another opportunity and say, Bobby, you can make $1 million sold, because it has nothing to do with my assignment. This is my assignment. And I want to encourage you with this. I'm going to tell you something that my global director told me in July of last year. He said, Bobby, and he was not lying. He said, your prosperity, your provision, your protection, and I'll add one more thing to it, your success lies within you telling your story. Y'all, let's get together, tell our stories, so not only can we get paid and paid well because we're doing what we're supposed to do, but we can also help others as they walk through their stories so they can gain the courage to be able to tell theirs. My time is up. I thank you for yours. And as always, I always say this right here. I love each and every one of you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Be blessed, and I will be back with you all later tonight because I got to get my second video in before the day is out.